He's an author, a coach, a real estate and finance expert, and he's committed to teaching you how to win in any marketplace. Your host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show, Brandon.
For consumer advocate, so let's jump right into some topics. What's going on? What are you seeing out there lately in St. Petersburg?
Things are real quiet here. In all seriousness, we've got a lot of things going on here in the city. We continue to reach out to the community to bring businesses here. We've got developments that are popping up all over. We are working on building a new pier, hiring a new police chief, building a new police station. Just a couple small little things we're working on.
Yeah, lots of free time, I'm sure. Question for you: under your watch, I know we just found there was a surplus of funds that were been discovered, and kudos to you and your administration for finding that. Now, has that money been earmarked for certain topics or events or community needs, or how are we using that?
Well, and I lost part of your. I'm going to try and pick you up because I lost part of what you said. Hold on one second.
Sure.
Are you there still?
Yes, we're here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Now, if you were talking about the $93 million.
Yeah, the surplus of funds found. That's an amazing story.
Yeah, well, and it's a great fiction story actually, because I wish it wasn't fiction and that it was nonfiction, but in reality, we've taken a look at that money, where it's programmed currently, what's not programmed, what we think might free up, and the numbers that we're seeing right now are closer to 900,000. That looks like it will be going back into fund balances of various different funds, and then in addition to that, another 200,000 that would be going into general fund. The rest of the money is already set aside for other projects. The problem is the way the city had historically tracked those funds, closed projects out, was not very transparent. And so what appeared to be a $93 million surplus in reality is closer, as I say, to about $1 million. And even of that million, about 800 plus thousand has to go into specific funds.
Wow. Yeah. So kind of some of the misinformation, again, we talk about, we hear certain things. So it's glad you cleared that up for us. So the Real Estate Quarterback Show, I got Mayor Rick Kriseman of St. Petersburg on the show here. And, let's talk a little bit about that. You kind of mentioned earlier, we love Tampa Bay, arguably the number one city, Tampa Bay, Clearwater, St. Petersburg, the number one region to live. And for a lot of reasons, we could argue that. The 12th largest media market in the United States. St. Petersburg's the 4th largest city in the state. And what a great place to live in general. And so let's talk about some of the jobs. I'm looking at 5 takeaways from the Tampa Bay Innovation Lunch, where you and Mayor Buckhorn were talking on a panel there. And you're quoted as saying, it's not just about tax breaks anymore to attract companies to the region. It's a quality of life, education, quality of jobs. And you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, I think that is the changing dynamic of economic development. It used to be where you would create tax incentives for business. You'd go out, you'd recruit the business to come to your area, and they'd come here, and then 5-6 years later, some other city's doing the same thing to that business that you just recruited, and is poaching them away. So it's not a sustainable model, and the change that I think we're seeing is really growing businesses and incubating them right here in your own community, so that they have roots based in this community. And you do that by providing an atmosphere that people want to live, work, and play, and that's all about the quality of life. So, you've got to have good schools that businesses can not only send their kids to, but can hire employees from. You've got to have good, safe neighborhoods that are affordable. You have to have strong public safety with your police and fire. You have to have cultural amenities, arts and culture, and you've got to have parks and recreation. So I think it's all of those things are things that we really excel very well in here in St. Petersburg, and it's one of the reasons I feel that this community is so poised to really take that next step and become a major player for developing and incubating businesses right here, and even bringing new ones into the community, because we always feel like all we have to do is get them to the city, let them see what a great place this is to live, work, and play, and they're going to want to move here and start their businesses here.
Agreed. Great place to live, work, and play. And that's the Tampa Bay, the greater Tampa Bay area. St. Petersburg is awesome. A lot of the younger folks have navigated or gravitated that way with, the First Fridays going on. And just I keep hearing a lot of good things about everything that you've got going on down there. So great place to live, work, and play. And what's the latest on the transportation side? We hear a lot of talk about that, some of the rails and things happening there. Can you give us any insights there?
Yeah, this November, Greenlight Pinellas is going to be on the ballot, and it's important for so many different reasons. From again, as we talk about quality of life, what we see in the millennials and the kids that are just graduating from high school and from colleges is they want to work in a place that's convenient, that they're not having to get in their car and drive great distances to get to. So having a good public transportation system is a really important piece of providing that quality of life that they're looking for. And it's also an important piece in attracting businesses to the community, because they want their employees to be able to get to work and to do so easily. So that's why I think Greenlight Pinellas is so important. And the thing that often gets focused when we talk about Greenlight is people tend to focus solely on the light rail component, and I think you're missing the boat when you do that, because even the logo, if you look at the logo for Greenlight, there is light rail there, but there's also bus service, and we're talking about enhanced buses that run more frequently, more often, provide better service. We're talking about bus rapid transit, which are more of an express bus, don't stop as often, have priorities going through traffic signals, so they get you from place to place quicker. You'll see in the logo someone on a bike and someone walking, because creating an environment that's more conducive to both pedestrians and bicyclists is an important part of talking about public transportation. And then the one piece that's not necessarily in the logo, but it still is a part in my mind of the transportation in general, is ferry service, high-speed ferry and water taxis. So, if we get to a point where we're doing those things and we pass Greenlight Pinellas, I think it really makes us competitive with cities like Portland and Austin and Charlotte. And if we don't do it in Pinellas, it's not going to happen in Hillsborough. So it's, when we talk regionally, we have to look at the importance of public transportation, and not only at passing in Pinellas, but then passing in Hillsborough and linking Hillsborough and Pinellas together, because if we are going to be Tampa Bay, we are going to have that link.
Absolutely. Yeah, the walkability is a big factor these days. People are looking to have all of that in the same area, like you mentioned. And we're coming into our first break here. You're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show. This is Brandon Rhymes, and more from Mayor Rick Kriseman of St. Petersburg when we come back. RealEstateRadioTampa.com.
Don't forget, Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Visit RealEstateRadioTampa.com or text the word VALUE to their consumer advocacy hotline at 813-917-1894. Call Brandon today, 813-917-1894.